Is there ever a time now where you feel like you don't love yourself? Where you have moments of like self-hatred or beat up or lack of self-love?
I think I believe that self-love is something that should always stay, but self-inquiry or questioning should remain. And I think that's the healthy balance of saying, I will always love myself because beyond this body, beyond this mind, I'm consciousness, I'm eternal, I'm full of bliss, and I'm full of knowledge at a consciousness level. And that is worthy of love. And so I'm always gonna love that. I'm gonna love what I've been calling my first self. I've got so many selves today. I play so many roles and personalities, but my first self is eternally lovable. And I have to accept that, because if I don't, what ends up happening is that I think I'm unlovable at the core, and then you start acting out in very unhealthy ways, right? So I believe I'm always lovable, but I believe I'm not free of self-inquiry and self-questioning.
Sure.
So are there days when I doubt myself? Yes, because I think doubt can be healthy. Are there days when I question my intention and motivation? Yes, but to me that's healthy. If I didn't question my intention and motivation, I think that would be unhealthy, because I'd basically be saying I'm perfect and everything's okay. And so I'm saying all of us, this is not just about me, everyone is lovable at the core. But then we have to question. So I question my intention, I question where my attention is, I question the actions I take, I question my decisions, I question whether I truly love or whether I'm just being thoughtful, like what is the difference? I think I am intrigued and constantly curious about, am I living my philosophy accurately? And also, is my philosophy even accurate? Right? Both of those questions. And I think that's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable to live there because our identity is made up of these pillars. And I actually feel like recently I've kind of shaken myself sometimes because I'm ready to question my deepest core beliefs.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one have you questioned or been close to questioning the most?
So I think I have, and I talked about this on the first time I was on your show, and it's still the number one purpose, I think, in the world, which is to serve others. I consider service to be the highest truth. But my question is always, am I really serving most effectively? Am I really serving genuinely, sincerely? And I think I have to do that excavation, because then only can you truly love. And so I would sit down and check that. I'm like, okay, if I really want to serve people, what is the best thing I can do with my time? If I really want to make an impact on these people, what do they really need? What do they truly need? And so constantly trying to think about, almost like a company has to think about their customer first. To me, when you're trying to serve, you have to think about humanity first. And that's a challenge because you've also got limited skills, limited resources, limited abilities. And so then you're trying to find that balance.
Yes.
So I think I really question how I want to serve, who I want to serve, and what service really means. And I hope I continue doing that for the rest of my life, because I think if I don't, I could end up in a very different direction that I won't be happy with.
Yeah. I want to go back to something you said about believing you're lovable. Why do you think a lot of people in the world get to a point where they don't believe they're lovable? And what happens to them if they enter a relationship and at the core they don't believe they're lovable?
Yeah.
What happens to that relationship?
The reason we don't believe that we're lovable is because we think if people don't love us, then we're not lovable. So we base the feeling of being loved by someone else as more important than being loved by ourselves.
Interesting.
And so we're waiting. We're saying, if Lewis loves me, then I will allow myself to feel I'm lovable.
And if they leave me, then I'm not lovable.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. And so all of our decision on being lovable is based on other people, which, as we both know, is highly risky, because people are going to change their mind, people are going to come and go, people are going to feel differently on a daily, monthly, weekly, yearly basis. You can't base your decision to be lovable on how much love you receive.
Before the interview continues, if you feel like you're not living your most authentic life, not leaning into your purpose, and not living the life that your future self would be extremely proud of, I've written a new book called The Greatness Mindset, and I think you're gonna love this. Through powerful stories, science-backed strategies, and step-by-step guidance, The Greatness Mindset will help you overcome all the different challenges in your life to design the life of your dreams and then turn it into your reality. Make sure to click the link below in the description to get your copy today. Okay, let's get back to this video.
You have to decide that you're lovable by knowing all that you have to offer, not all of that being noted by other people. So you're not lovable because 100 people love you or 1,000 people love you. You're lovable because you know what you bring to the table. You're lovable because you know what you're willing to offer and share with someone. You're like literally gonna share a part of your life with someone.
Right.
That's what makes you lovable. So you're lovable because of your abilities, your qualities, your skills, your
generosity,
your kindness, your empathy, your compassion. And I think we don't think of those things as assets in relationships. If you think about how people date, most people's dating profile will say, I'm looking for someone who's kind, good sense of humor, driven, and ambitious, right? Like, or something like that. Or someone else may say, yeah, I'm looking for someone who likes to go traveling, who likes long walks, who likes being at the beach or whatever, something like that. But those are not our assets in a relationship. Like, no one ever says, like, I'm looking for someone who's generous, kind, magnanimous, thoughtful, emotive, understanding. Like, you never say, but that's what we're really looking for. And so I think we devalue the parts of ourselves that are the most lovable because we value the things society tells us to value.
Why do you think we focus so much on connecting with people based on likes and interests, shared like likes and interests in the world versus emotional stability and healthy inner qualities?
Yeah.
Why don't, because that at the end of the day will determine whether a relationship is going to work or not in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
How you energetically can communicate and react and respond to each other. How you explode or don't explode. Like it's these ability to communicate effectively with peace and harmony. And the likes and interests, yes, you're going to want to have shared experiences. You're both enjoying these activities. But why is it like I like hiking and travel and dogs versus I like inner peace and conscious conversations and mutual respect?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love it, Lewis. Yeah, I love it.
But it's true because
it's a great point.
Well, she likes to hike and he likes to swim. And so we do all these cool activities. But when there's a disturbance or expectations that aren't met and there's not a mutual conscious agreement, then he's avoidant, she's reactive, we're explosive, we can't communicate and fight, like you talk about in the book, how to fight in a healthy way. And instead, we should be coming to the table with, hey, this is how I like to communicate. This is my love language. Who cares about hiking if we can't communicate?
Totally. I'm so glad you double down on that point that's coming up but I think that takes so much maturity to realize. Like it takes so many years.
When we're 16, we're not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey,
or even even in your 20s, right? Like you don't think like that. You just think, oh, that's for you. You don't even ever consider it. I think you just think if we like the same stuff, it means we'll be able to do things together. And we think that basically about love, that, if we like the same movies, we like the same travel, we like the same workouts, then we're going to agree on everything. And I think that's what it is.
We like sushi.
Exactly. We like exactly the same food. And I think that's what it is. We think that if we agree on our likes and dislikes, we're going to agree on the bigger issues.
On money, sex, kids, family, all these things.
All the bigger stuff, which actually, what we've realized through our own relationships, it's very rare that you're going to fully agree on your exact viewpoints towards something, but you can agree on how you communicate and deal with things.
100%.
And that's the value that we have to have the same. The value you have to have the same is not this, I want it to be sunny, or I want to live in the cold, or I love sushi, or I love Italian food. Like, those are not the things that make or break a relationship. But that is what we market ourselves as, and that's the ads we look at of other people. And so we're marketing saying, I like these 7 things. We're looking at everyone's ads saying, I like these 7 things. And to me, what I discovered was just, when I look at me and Radhi, we're very different people when it comes to likes and dislikes.
And even your love languages are a little bit different.
Our love languages are completely different, right? Radhi's love language is quality time and words of affirmation. And my love languages are words of affirmation and gifts. Like, those are mine. So we have one in similar. But at the same time, the other likes and dislikes are, Radhi loves working out. I only work out if it's sport.
Sports,
I love sports. I can play sports all day. Radhi is far more like connected to nature and like an outdoors person, which I can be as well, but I'd rather be reading books for 12 hours
on the couch.
If I had the choice on the couch. And so we have so many differences in who we are. We also have some similarities. We have the same taste in furniture and interior design and that kind of stuff. So we have some similarities, but what I find is that the parts that make our relationship good are the fact that we both have this memory where when we wake up in the morning, we erase what happened yesterday and it's a new day and our relationship starts again.
You don't hold on to it.
We don't hold on to it. Now, we both have that.
That's pretty good.
And it's so helpful and useful in a relationship.
It's kind of like Men in Black every day. Like,
literally, that's exactly what it feels like. And she has that too. And so, but that impacts our relationship way more than the fact that we have the same taste in interior design.
Exactly.
Like, that doesn't make the difference. You bumped into someone, but you built love out of it.
Of course.
So you didn't find love when you weren't looking for it. You found a person.
Yes.
But you still had to build love actively.
100%.
And I think that's what I'm trying to, I want to discourage the idea that it doesn't take effort, that love doesn't take action,